Hello children! It was really lovely to meet so many of you over the last couple of weeks. I'm really looking forward to September where we can all be together as a class. Now, what I thought I would do for you today is just read you a story. Now, this story is called Ivy, and it's a very special book because it was written by Rosie Chenault and illustrated by Beth Sidorn. And Mrs. Chenault and Miss Sidorn are two teachers from Coton End. And this was the first book they wrote together, but there are quite a few that they've done. I'm sure we'll read some more of them during our time in reception. Glossy coats and rainbow hair, gleaming spiral horns, trotting gracefully along, here come the unicorns. Buttercup, bluebell, blossom too, all beauties to behold, eyes sparkling like precious gems, and hooves as bright as gold. 10 paces behind them, humming a merry song, was their sister Ivy, bumbling along. Here she is. As storm clouds loomed up in the sky, they feared they would get wet, so the sisters rushed for cover and all began to fret. All except dear Ivy, who loved the rain to pour, so she could splish and splash in puddles and make mud angels on the floor. There she is, having a lovely time. She listened to the raindrops pitter-patter from the sky, and before she knew it, the hours had ticked by. Her mum was waiting by the gate. "Oh, Ivy, I despair. Your hooves are caked in gooey mud. There's leaves all in your hair." Ivy blushed and hung her head. "But Mum, I can explain. Go and have a wash at once and brush that tangled mane." On her way down to the stream, her sisters strutted past, and as poor Ivy greeted them, their faces fell aghast. "What do you look like, Ivy?" Their voices full of scorn. "You're more like a common horse. You're not a unicorn." Ivy looked into the stream and stared at her reflection. Maybe everyone was right. It was far from perfection. A single tear fell from her eye and dropped down to the ground. But then, all of a sudden, she heard a whispering sound. "Oh, Ivy, what's the matter? Don't let them get you down. Your sisters are not worth your tears. I hate to see you frown." Floating down above her, in the evening sky, her dear friend Gus the rain cloud let out a weary sigh. "But Gus, maybe they've got a point. I'm not like all the rest. My horn has never sparkled, and my mane's a bird's nest. My tail's not rainbow colours, and glitter makes me sneeze. My tummy's rather chubby, and there's mud upon my knees." None of those things matter. They're what makes you you. The key to being beautiful is in the things you do. Your sisters need to realise it's them that's got it wrong. They should be out there spreading joy, not preening all day long. Ivy felt much better after Gus's words and trotted through the forest, singing to the birds. But Gus just couldn't leave it there. He couldn't let it drop. He knew without a bit of help her sisters wouldn't stop. He summoned his fellow rain clouds and relayed his cunning plan. Rain down upon Ivy's field as hard as you possibly can. And so the heavens opened, rain cascading from the sky. The unicorns rushed for cover, desperate to stay dry. But alas, it wasn't meant to be. The mud was far too sticky. Their hooves began to slip and slide, and staying up was tricky. Buttercup and Bluebell tumbled to the ground. Then Blossom lost her footing too and let out a squealing sound. Ivy watched in horror and heard her sisters yelp. She dashed across the meadow so that she could help. When she reached her sisters, she couldn't believe her ears, for what had once been shrieks and screams had now turned into cheers. The rain is truly beautiful. At last we've seen the light. Who knew mud could be this fun? Ivy, you were right. Ivy's face was flushed with joy. Her heart was beating fast. She thought this day would never come. They'd accepted her at last. Gus gazed down from above, chuckling at their fun, and seeing Ivy's beaming smile, he knew his work was done. And there we go. That is the end of this story, Ivy. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. As I said, we will read lots more in September and in the months to come. But for now, have a really lovely summer. Hope you enjoy spending lots of time outside and spending time with your family. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.